Welcome back to Page to Picture, the podcast where books come to life on screen and in conversation. I'm your host, Kim.
And I'm your host, Tiff, and today we are entering the fold.
Literally.
Literally.
I have a joke to say, but I'm not going to say it.
Bad.
I have a joke, but I'm not going to say it.
That sounds so bad.
I'm not going to say it.
She's entering Ben Barnes' fold, and I'm entering Kaz.
I'm not going to say it, but if you're listening and you hear the word fold and you know that Ben Barnes is in this series, enter the joke yourself. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
And so obviously today we are talking about Shadow and Bone, the book that gave us sun summoners, stag antlers, and morally questionable men in black. More than one, okay?
Yes. And the Netflix series that said, you know what this story needs? Some crows, a goat, and a whole lot of chaos.
Yes, we've got thoughts, we have feels, and my God, we will be thirsting over the Darkling while also dragging him, but also thirsting over the one that we didn't know we were going to thirst over. Okay?
If you are not watching this video, Tiff has, as always, she has a man in her background, and this man is not Ben Barnes because we've already done Prince Caspian.
Yeah.
It is the one and only Kaz. So if you've seen the series,
we love Kaz Brecker, okay?
You know, and we are very surprised by it.
It's a shock. It's a shock because I told Kim, I was like, listen, I'm going to put someone in my background. She goes, is it going to be Ben Barnes? I said, no. She goes, well, it better not be Mal. And I said, it definitely not. And she goes, okay, Jasper. And I said, no. She literally named everyone on the cast list except for Kaz, which, by the way, I'm a little insulted because I'm not surprised.
Sorry.
By this choice here, okay?
So grab your kefta and prepare for sass, spoilers, and shadowing nonsense. Why are you laughing? That's what they have.
I know, but it's just so funny. Okay, but before we get into it, Kim, how art thou?
Thou is doing well. We are going to be taking a little recording break. Trying to enjoy the summer, planning on going out of town. So I'm excited for that. And it's always nice to have a little recording break. I feel like I love recording, but sometimes it can be draining. So
it can be a lot sometimes. So
I'm actually excited. But I'm good. This was a nice 4th of July weekend we just had. Had some time off work. So yeah, it was good. How are you?
I am doing fine. I have let Shadow and Bone consume me. I reread the book and I was like, I like this book. And then I watched the show and I said, wow, I really should read The Six of Crows. There's a specific crow.
Yeah.
That's taken over my mind because I've literally, as soon as I watched like half of season 1, I was telling Kim earlier that I immediately went on to AO3. And if you know, you know. And if you've been listening to our podcast, you should know. I went on to AO3 and Wattpad and got fan fictions of this man.
You're obsessed.
And they're so good. But other than like that, I started book 2 of my Just One series. I think I'm about 3 chapters in so far. And it's good. You guys are going to love it.
I'm excited.
You're going to love it because it's an enemies to lovers. And I'll leave it at that.
I just thought about this right now. I don't know why, but I started watching. Okay, have you watched Love Island?
Yeah. Did you see my post?
No, but we just started watching this latest season because this is the season.
I haven't seen this season because I can't find it anywhere. Where are you finding it?
Peacock.
Oh, I don't know if I have Peacock.
Yeah,
I think I do actually.
And I'm like obsessed. I don't know, like why did I cry 2 times in fucking Love Island?
I heard Huda. Yeah, she's like crazy. Listen, it's funny that you brought that up.
She's not the reason I cried, but
yeah, it's funny that you brought that up because I made a post and I said, this is the song.
Yeah,
I said popular book characters I'd cast on Love Island. Do you want to hear what they are?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have the cereal from Akatar.
Okay.
And it says would pull you for a chat just to start drama.
I love that.
And then there's Josh from Lights Out. He's the walking red flag everyone loves.
He's like Nick or something. Oh, you haven't seen the new season.
I haven't seen it, so I have no idea. And then there's Bellatrix Lestrange, the crazy one. Okay. And then we have Edward Cullen, the mysterious emo one.
Oh my god, who just wants to find love.
Yep. And then we have Riddick, the one that makes everyone laugh.
Love that.
I have Elaine and Nesta, who would enter the villa together as a twist. Two bombshells in one night.
Bombshells.
And then we have Mr. Darcy, the romantic one that yearns from across the pool.
Who's literally just looking for love.
Yeah. And then we have Kaz Brecker, the aggressive one that's also hot in a weird way.
Yeah.
We have Effie.
You like him, but you do.
Yeah, exactly. We have Effie from Hunger Games, the over-the-top dramatic one, but is such a girl's girl. We have Gail from Hunger Games, the one that seems nice at first and turns out to be an idiot. We have Kat from Fourth Wing, the one that looks like a bitch but is actually pretty cool. And we have Tamlin, the one that gets kicked off first. And this one is a little teaser for later on in the episode, but we have Alina Starkov as the pick-me girl.
Facts. We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Note. Yep. On that note, let's talk about the book. So the title is Shadow and Bone. The author is Leigh Bardugo. And the release date was June 5th, 2012. Originally published in 2012 by Henry Holt and Co. And the tropes are chosen one or hidden power, light versus darkness, found family, love triangle, boarding school, magical training, morally gray antagonist, childhood friends to something more, and secret royal bloodline ish. And this is the blurb for the book. Okay. Soldier, summoner, saint, orphaned and expendable, Alina Starkov is a soldier who knows she may not survive her first trek across the Shadow Fold, a swath of unnatural darkness crawling with monsters. But when her regiment is attacked, Alina unleashes dormant magic not even she knew she possessed. Ripped from everything she knows, Alina is whisked away to the royal court to be trained as a member of the Grisha, the magical elite led by the mysterious Darkling. Yet nothing in this lavish world is what it seems, with darkness looming as an entire kingdom. I'm sorry, I can't read that because there's an arrow in the way. As an entire kingdom resting on her untamed power, Alina must confront the secrets of the Grisha and the secrets of her own heart.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine.
It is what it is. So let's just get right into the meat and potatoes. Kim, when did you read this book, and tell me why it was last week?
I read it so today is Sunday, and I read it on Wednesday.
Okay.
But okay, I want to say I've seen this book cover for years.
Yeah.
At every bookstore I've seen it. Any store I've seen it. And I just never felt the need to pick it up because, like, you already know I don't do fantasy. So it never, like, intrigued me. I never was, like, pulled to it.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to leave it at that for now. But Wednesday, I finished it in a day. I finished it in a day. I did an Audible version, which is actually really good. So
the
I
Audible
did it.
Is good.
Yeah, I did it in a day. What about you?
I read it like almost 2 years ago. So pretty, and it's a stag.
Oh,
page like
disappeared. Wow.
I know, it's so pretty, and the pages are like designed.
Ooh,
like,
that's
pretty,
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's so pretty. I didn't read this because there's something about reading a
special edition.
Yeah, but it has all the letters that in
letter format.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know,
it's gorgeous.
Yeah. Gorgeous. I love it. Love everything about it. And yeah, very pretty.
Wow. Look. That's beautiful.
I know.
I actually love that.
So cute.
I actually love that so bad.
I love it so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I read it like almost 2 years ago, and then I reread it again.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's talk about the characters for Shadow and Bone.
The book.
Since it's the book only, because the show is different.
We'll talk about it.
Who is your favorite character, and why is it Ben Barnes?
The Darkling. Facts.
So true.
Seriously, I'm obsessed with the Darkling. Okay, so as everybody knows, I tend to watch before I read.
Yeah.
So reading it, I already had Ben Barnes in my mind.
in your mind.
And I was like, I will follow this man to the fold.
I hate you.
Happily.
Literally hate you.
But I also enjoyed, what is Homegirl's name? The one who's like I like
Taylor.
Taylor.
Yeah. Yes, I like her. She's my favorite character.
I feel like she's
other than the Darkling.
I literally feel like she's there to survive.
Yeah.
And just
she's going through a lot.
Yeah.
And she's
Like
very like she's still very like happy when she talks to Alina.
Mhm.
And they like laugh and they have this like very strong friendship from the start.
Yeah.
So for her to be that way with what she went through and what she's still going through in the time is like, yeah.
Yeah, I
Very
like
strong.
her, but I definitely enjoy the Darkling. That is a red flag
Yeah,
I will
listen.
follow. I'm like, "Is that a light? What is that?"
I
Going to the
just
folds, I'll follow.
I just know for a fact that it like if we had read this long, long ago, like if this was like one of the first books that we ever read, we would
Mhm.
not like the Darkling.
Yeah.
But because we read like dark romance and like
Our stuff has,
we're
like,
tainted
evolved. Mhm.
by villains and we
'Cause it
love
ain't
them.
Mal, I'll tell you that.
Listen,
That's
I
I don't
have
know if that's a
words. We'll
hot
talk
take,
about
I
that.
don't know,
We'll talk
but
about that later because that's because I have things to say about because like in the book I didn't mind him as much. I thought they were cute. Like I did think that like
yeah.
they had something very like childhood
I
best
think
friends
and
and
it's funny
stuff.
because I honestly think, like you just said, if we had read this in the very beginning, like, before we evolved
We would have
our
liked Mal more.
we would have liked Mal, and we would
Yeah.
have enjoyed that relationship between Mal and Alina, like, rooting for it.
Yeah.
But because we're just, like, little smutties for Ben Barnes, we can't go that route.
Not even Ben Barnes, just
We're
like
altering our
shadow daddies. Like
perspective, but I'm for the villain sometimes, like, always, so
yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah, well.
I know. Well.
well. Well.
Okay, so obviously we have to read book 2 since this is a 2-part episode.
Yep.
But have you read the other Shadow and Bone trilogy plus the Six of Crows duology? I mean, I was blown away, and we'll dive more deep into it when we start talking about the series because it's a lot to break down.
Mhm.
I didn't know. Let's just say that. I didn't know there was so much to this world, to this
Yeah.
series. So had you read any of it? And if not, will you besides book 2 for the podcast?
I haven't read anything else other than Shadow and Bone. And I think it's because it's not that I didn't like the story, but it wasn't one of those stories where I was like, I have
You
to know
need
what
to keep going.
happens. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I will read book 2 for the podcast, but I want to not as much as I want to read the Six of Crows more. Like I'm more
Yeah.
interested in their story than I am in
Same.
Alina's because Alina kind of pisses me the fuck off. So that might be a hot take for everyone else, but I'm just saying she pisses me the fuck off. Like I don't know what it is. I love Leigh Bardugo's writing.
Yeah, no, I thought the writing was
I've
beautiful.
read
Well
there's
done.
another book that she did. I think she was the one that wrote it. It's like it has like snakes, like a snake on the
Okay.
Let me see. I'm gonna look. Yeah, Ninth House. Okay. So I read I read part of Ninth House. I
Mhm.
haven't finished it, but I don't know if it's connected to Shadow and Bone now, and I have to read
I
through
don't think
it.
so because when
But
I did my research, it was only Shadow and Bone and then Six of Crows.
yeah, right. Okay, so I read part of it on Kindle, and I didn't do anything else with it because fan fiction takes over my life.
Yeah.
And I needed to make space in my Kindle for the fan fiction. So I had to get rid of one thing, and it was this one. And I know she came out with The Familiar recently, and that one I heard is like amazing. So like it's not that her writing I don't like. I think it's just Alina.
The character.
She's like my least favorite type of FMC, where it's like
Facts.
she's the chosen one and she works hard, but like
I think
every
I have
guy
an
that she meets
issue.
like tries to be with her, and I hate it.
I honestly think I have an issue, and I didn't really realize it until we kept reading it with like chosen one tropes.
You might not like the chosen one
I
tropes.
think they're just. I really don't think. I don't think I like them, and I don't. I don't know what it is about chosen one. It's just like predictable, I guess.
Yeah, it's almost like it's hard to switch up a chosen one type story.
And I really thought about that when we did Aragon. Like
Yeah.
the chosen one trope, like you are meant to be the dragon rider that comes. I mean, maybe sometimes it could be good. It could be done well, but it's just I don't vibe with that. I don't
Yeah,
know what it is.
I'm more drawn to the Six of Crows story, which I hope you know that I am 100% gonna read that, even if we don't talk about it, because
Yeah.
I like because I've read Atlas 6, which is like 6 different people and it's their own POVs. And I don't know if Six of Crows written that way, where it's different POVs of each crow, but like I like that the group.
Me too. I
rather
enjoy
than
them.
And they're like morally gray. All of them are morally gray.
And I
Like they
think that's why
all
we like
have
them, because they have their own like code of honor, right?
Yeah.
And it's like they're bad, but they have their own code of honor. Like I love that type of shit. I obviously book 2, but I will definitely read Six of Crows because I love Jesper.
Jesper is like amazing.
He's so, I'm a side character.
I know you love.
I'm a character.
Jesper.
Like for me, when I watched
like,
the show, he was like a side character in the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need more about him.
Yeah. You get more in season 2.
Yeah.
But Kim texted me. I remember she texted me and she's like, Jesper's not even in the books. And I was like, well, he's not in this book.
Okay. Let me break it down real quick. So I watched the show first. Then I went to the book. And I, no lie, was like listening. I was like, maybe there's gonna be like a part, like it's part 1, this is their story. Part 2, let's introduce Kaz and Jesper and Inej, and like they're gonna all, and then part 3, they're all gonna meet up like I finished that book. I said, where? That's what I said. Where? And that's when I deep dived into research, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. It's its own story. I have to read.
Thing. But we'll talk more about the TV show and how it adapted the book. But let's talk about your favorite scene in the book, because I need to know what you think.
Okay. So my personal favorite scene is when Alina's in the little palace training.
I knew it.
Like, give me a good training montage.
Yeah, that's exactly what you love.
I like the description of how her training was. I love to see like a character growth, regardless if I dislike the character. I like to see the character growth. So for her to like go through this training class, to do everything, to learn about her powers, like I'm for it. And I mean, they didn't really include that much of it in the show, so I did enjoy that part in the book.
Yeah.
What about you?
I liked the scene when Alina demonstrates her powers for the first time for the king, because like everyone's like in awe, right? It's all quiet and like everyone's like, oh my god. And Ben Barnes' character, the Darkling, is just like like he's calm. Like she describes him as like calm and like very like he's the, you know what I mean? Like because I know how it ends and stuff, like the story, but he's very like he's like her anchor in a sense, because she's nervous, and like everyone else around them is like in awe, and she's just like, I've never done this before, and I'm like, bitch.
Anyway, that's
Ben Barnes is like, we
got this.
Yeah, and it's like a whole thing.
I know.
It's whatever.
I know. Okay, so we just were talking about this, but how did Shadow and Bone handle the chosen one trope differently from other fantasy stories you've read or seen? I'm curious what your answer is on this, because you are a big fantasy. I mean, if we're deep into our seasons now, you should know Tiff loves fantasy. I do not mess with it that much. It is what it is.
She's forced by me or the podcast to read fantasies.
So how do you feel the chosen one trope was handled in the story?
I think that Leigh Bardugo wrote it right. Because generally when like it, like there's a lot of books where like the chosen one is like, you're the chosen one, and they're like, okay, and then all of a sudden they're just like this huge powerful person, like in the next scene you're like, how did you even get like that? But this one worked out good because like Alina didn't want it at first. She just wanted to be a normal person and be with Mal. And she wasn't like automatically special. When she found out, she had to go through training, so she like worked for her power. So I think that part of it, like the general aspect of it, was done beautifully well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I just mentioned, I don't like the chosen one trope. I think maybe I'm blinded by the show. She was just annoying to me, but
it was so annoying to me.
I do like that she fought so hard to not want to be. She didn't know, but she knew she wanted to be with Mal at the end of the day when she was younger, when they were like orphans or whatever. And like I said, I do enjoy like the whole training process. Like she's trying to learn. she's really trying to like figure out her powers. Like she doesn't want it, but she's accepting it.
Yeah.
And she's trying to figure it out. And so it's like, I like that part. I don't know. There's the chosen one trope I just don't fuck with.
It's just, I feel like I think the reason why, and this might be a huge deep dive, but the reason why is because your favorite series is Harry Potter and he is a chosen one trope. And I think so I think your standards for chosen one tropes are really high because as much as people have things to say about J.K. Rowling, which she wrote it well and it's spread out into a series, and you know the chosen one trope so well because you are obsessed with Harry Potter that you compare every chosen one trope to that subconsciously, because I do that. That's why I like the chosen one tropes where like the characters don't want it and they work for it, because Harry Potter didn't want it.
Yeah.
And he worked for it for 8 years of his life. Yeah, like since 11 to however 17.
Yeah.
He worked, he trained, he like learned how to do magic, he like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's why I feel like that's why maybe I don't know.
Maybe
A psychologist is listening. Let me know if I'm right.
I'm like, you are no Harry Potter.
Yeah, like you subconscious, because I know I do that when I start like when I
not even books. That you are no Harry Potter, and you know what's his name? He's like, you were the chosen one.
Star Wars. You're talking about
Anakin
Skywalker.
the bad, but he's bad. That just says, give me a chosen one who turns evil. Give me a book.
Yeah, like if you have a chosen one and he turns evil.
Give me that kind of book. I'll eat that shit up. Is there books like that?
I don't know of any other book like that, but I have a book in the process that's kind of like that. I won't tell you what it is because it's a spoiler. So
okay, write me. That's what I want.
So were there moments when the pacing dragged, or like was it perfectly timed for the
beginning
story?
Kills me every time.
Okay, the beginning of every book from me, it's any book. It doesn't matter what it is. It's always like the first 1 or 2 chapters where I'm like, I don't like, and I have to push myself through it, because if I don't, I will DNF it and I won't pick it up until later. Like I won't. So
it's the intro for me. Because, you know, there's so much info dumping and you have to learn already about what happened, what's with the fold, like who the the evil is. And it's just like, What about you?
You're going to hate me, but it's when she was at the little palace.
I love when she's at the little palace.
Anytime she's at the little palace without Mal, I don't know why. I was like, I kept like, not skimming, but I kept being like,
you're like, you're boring, you needed a man.
Yeah, and like, okay, like, and she had her moments with the Darkling Alexander.
Yeah.
But like, it's just, they were like little they were like fleeting. Watching it on screen is so much better.
Yeah, they were like little paragraphs.
So much better. Yeah, but like but anytime she was after that, like anytime she's with Mal, like in the beginning and stuff, their banter, their conversation, like I enjoy.
There's like another character there.
Yeah,
like it's another to give conversation. I mean, I get it. Yeah. I mean, the letter writing, I could just been like,
yeah, it's fine.
I guess
whatever. Okay, so what is your ultimate Shadow and Bone hot take? Because like there's a lot of hot takes. If you look on social media about Shadow and Bone, I looked up like Shadow and Bone. Like I just looked it up on TikTok, and there's like people talking about the movie, the show, and then there's people talking about the books.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look on Reddit, and everyone's talking about the show, and they're talking about like the adaptation and stuff. So I want to know what your hot take is.
Okay, so this is a hot take on the book first. Okay, let's do the book. I don't like Mal.
That's fine.
And that could just be me constantly rooting for the bad guy. Like I'm obsessed with red flags. Maybe, I don't know. I don't like Mal. I just don't.
You know, Mal gave me.
He gave me like ick. Like no, dude, I just did not vibe with him.
Dane Atos from Fourth Wing, he gave me those vibes.
He was like, what's homeboy Liam Hemsworth in Hunger Games?
Yeah, Gale.
We don't
fuck with Gale.
That's the vibes.
No, I was thinking very much Dane Atos when I was reading him, because like he wants to protect her and be with her, but then he's also like, stop it, like, you know what I mean? Like,
and I was like, are they more like a sister brother vibe? Like,
yeah, it was like a weird.
Admit you're obsessed with her. Like, you are waiting too long. You've been with Taylor since you were children. Like, this is a slow ass burn. Like, I'm so over that.
Slow ass burn. My hot take, because I thought this before I watched the show, and the show just confirmed it for me. But Alina was a pick-me, in my opinion, and I know you probably agree, like, show-wise. But I said it already, but she's the type of FMC that I don't like to read about. It has nothing to do with, like, the chosen one trope.
Like, why do you need a man?
Yeah, like,
Just,
I get it being, like, fantasy, borderline romantasy, but like there's no need to kiss every man that you talk to in the book. Like, I don't know, and the show confirmed.
Yeah, facts.
The show, and every time I see
like,
it on
she was about to get down with Alexander.
I know. I
was like, girl, are you a virgin?
On the cartography table.
I said, are you a virgin? Have you even hooked up with anybody? That's the thoughts of my brain.
I was like,
I was low-key about to want to hook up with homegirl in the... Okay, I'm talking about the show now.
Zoila. Yeah.
Remember, she's like, my favorite thing to do is unwind. And he was like...
He said, as he's eating the grape, like, really, bitch? Really?
I was like, what?
Don't be talking like that. Like...
Ew, you're not even cute to be doing that with. Like,
I know, stop. Let's talk about the show now. I'm over it. Let's talk about the show.
Okay, let's dive into it then. This is my favorite part.
Because I've been waiting to talk about the crows.
Okay. So, Shadow and Bone season 1. So the title is Shadow and Bone. It's streaming only on Netflix. Release date is April 23rd, 2021. Showrunner is Eric Heiserer. Anyway, director is Lee Tolan Krieger. It was directed in multiple episodes, including the pilot, among others, including Thomas Snapper and Ben Taylor. So it is a TV series, so there are going to be some multiple directors. And let's talk about this cast.
This is our first TV series that we've done as an adaptation.
Did we? No, we did. Oh, because To All the Boys was shows. Was a movie.
To All the Boys was movies, yeah. This is our first, like, TV series I think we've done.
Really?
I think.
Oh, no, we did A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
And we didn't like that. That doesn't count.
Okay.
If you know, you know. We didn't like it. It doesn't count. Okay.
No, that one I dread. That one took forever.
Yeah, that one I was so over. We did My Lady Jane, because the guys...
So you know what? The series just got better as we went through. Yeah. But why are we doing shows that are getting canceled?
I don't know.
Except for A Good Girl's Guide to Murder,
which we hate.
Picked up. I know. Stupid. We're not going to continue doing that
Netflix, show. You need to pick the show up. You need to just do The Crows. That's why. That's why it flopped. Whatever. We're not gonna talk about it.
Anyway, so let's talk about this cast. People. So as Alina Starkov, it's Jessie May Lee. As the Darkling, Alexander General Kirigan. Ben Barnes.
Yep.
As Mal, it's Archie Renew. As Inej, it's Amita Suman. As Jesper, it's Kit Young. As Kaz, it's Freddie Carter. As I was shocked by... I was like, why do I like this man?
Literally. Whatever.
I didn't... It, like, unlocked something I didn't know I had.
Yeah.
As Nina, it's Danielle Galligan. As Matthias?
No, not Matthias.
Matthias, it's Callahan Skogman. As Bagra, it's Zoe Wanamaker. And as Genya, it's these names, Sujaya Skubuta. I literally probably chopped everybody's name except for Kit Young and Freddie Carter. And Ben Barnes. And I'm so sorry, but I don't do well with names and words I don't know.
I want to say, you've played Hogwarts Legacy?
Duh.
The Jessie May Lee is she one of the voice actors for one of the voices you can pick for your character? Because she sounds like the character voice. Like, she sounds like my character in the game.
Let's look.
Okay. And also, what other stuff is Freddie Carter in? Because I need to know. The Covenant?
No, she's not.
She's not? Really? She sounds just like one of the character voices that you can choose for, like, your own character when you make. He's in Wonder Woman. Who does he play
looking at it. Huh?
Oh, I was talking about. Sorry, I'm talking about Freddie Carter while you look up Homegirl. Okay. He's in movies that I don't want to watch.
He's in the Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah, he plays a soldier.
Okay.
And he doesn't even have a name.
He's in. Oh, I wanted to watch this Pennyworth. Oh, we just talked about it. You didn't like DC. I don't like the cover. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
He's in that?
He's gonna be in number 2. Skeet Ultra.
Maybe I'll have to watch it then.
Freddie Carter, I'm in.
He's in something called Broken Gargoyles, which I'm gonna have to watch.
And then he's in this like Free Reign, which looks like a cowboy series. That's
the 12 Days of Christmas. What is that? Why is that horse so small? Okay, we're not gonna talk about it. Anyways, I'm a fan of Freddie Carter. Kim, this just proves my point for when I say that I love sickly on their deathbed looking men.
Oh yeah, and he is sickly in all the right ways. Anyway, okay. So before we get all in on this series and Freddie Carter and Ben Barnes, I would like to bring back a special segment that we took a little break from called The Hathaway Connection.
Yes.
So Tiff, let's lay out the 3 characters. I will tell you how he or she connects the one and only Anne Hathaway.
Okay, can I just say that I'm so excited to do this because I feel like we haven't done an episode.
Like we didn't do it last month because we had so many guests on our actual episodes that it just felt weird.
Yeah, to do a Hathaway connection, they're like, "What's their obsession?"
So this whole month we have no guests on our episodes. I don't think so. Actually, we do have a guest, but we will probably still do the Hathaway connection.
Okay. All right, cool. So the first one will be our main character, Alina. Give me Jessie.
Okay. Jessie May Lee was in Havoc with Tom Hardy. And Tom Hardy was in Dark Knight Rises with Anne Hathaway.
So true. All right, let's do our homeboy, Ben Barnes.
Ben Barnes was in The Big Wedding with Robert De Niro. And Robert De Niro was in The Intern with Anne Hathaway.
The Intern is on... I think it's on Netflix.
Yes.
Right now.
Have you watched it?
I've seen it before.
I love it. I love The Intern.
Good. It's so good for no reason. Robert De Niro, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
All right, give me Mal.
Okay, so Mal is Archie Renew. He was in Upgraded with Camila Mendes, which I need to pause real quick. I loved that Netflix show, or I think it's Prime, Upgraded with Camila Mendes, and I did not realize that he was the main.
That's the one I was telling you about, is it not?
She's like an intern or something like that. Graded. I think you're telling me about something else.
Is it a TV show?
It's a movie.
Oh, never mind then.
No, this is something else.
Oh my god, cute! Look at him.
Cute in this show, in this movie.
They just made him weird.
So he was in Upgraded with Camila Mendes, who's in Masters of the Universe, which is not out yet, with Nicholas Galitzine.
Who is that?
How do you say his name? It's homeboy with the earring.
Fuck, I hate him. Okay, and he was in The Idea of You with Anne Hathaway.
There we go. He's gonna play he's the He-Man or whatever in Masters.
I know, you tell me every time we bring him up because for some reason we always connect him. He's always the bridge to Anne Hathaway, and I hate that he's the bridge. That's the bridge I'll burn.
Oh my god. Okay, and that, my ladies and gentlemen, is what we call the Hathaway connection. Good to have her back.
You know what? I could do a Hathaway connection with Freddie Carter.
Do it.
He was in Wonder Woman, played a soldier, and Chris Pine was in that movie too, and he was in The Princess Diaries with Anne Hathaway.
Not Chris Pine?
Chris No Lips Pine-thy.
Allegedly.
Chrisathy. No Lips Pine-thy.
Tree.
That's the name.
If
So
you know, you
bad.
know.
If you know, you know. My God.
All right, let's get into it. Do you remember watching the series for the first time? And if so, when?
I remember watching the first 2 episodes when it came out, and then I was like, this is not my cup of tea right now. So then I just stopped, which I don't know why, because now I'm like
Weird.
obsessed. I'm obsessed. When it first came out, when did this show come out?
2012.
2021.
Oh, 2021. I'm sorry. Yes.
So what was I even doing around then? Absolutely nothing. I don't know what it
COVID.
was about. I don't know what. Yeah, it was like after COVID. I don't know what it was about this show I could not get into.
Interesting.
I think because I was into Stranger Things at the time.
Okay,
And
there was
I was
other
like,
things
I
taking over.
had, yeah, my brain was like not. So now that I finished the show, all I'm thinking about is like, I want a fantasy romance TV show, but there's never any good one.
No.
It pisses me off. Ugh. Anyways, what about you?
Why are you laughing?
Tell me, do you remember about watching the series for the first time, and tell me why it was 2 days ago?
I did. I watched. Actually, it was on a Monday, the 2 days before I read the book.
Mm-hmm.
I watched all eight episodes of season 1 at work.
Yeah, and each episode is how long?
An hour.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, my workday is 8 hours long, so
It's fair. It's fair.
I was obsessed.
Yeah.
I never knew the show really existed until you threw it out there. We have to do Shadow and Bone for the podcast. And I was so confused. I was like, why are we doing 2 parts? Like, I don't get it. And you're like, it's a series. It's series 1, series 2. I was like, okay, so do I have to read book 1 and book 2? And you're like, yes, but the crow, you were like mentioning the crows at the time.
I kept bringing up the crows.
And I was like, I'll just watch it and vibe with it. Like, we'll see. And I'm like, I remember texting Tiff, like, I fucking love this show.
Yeah, she texted me. She goes,
I love it so bad.
And then she goes, I can't believe Jasper's not in the book. And I was like, that's what I was literally telling you about. Okay,
because I didn't understand. You said things like crows and Ben, and then everybody's like, "Oh my god!" When we did our Narnia episode and we kept bringing up Ben Barnes, everybody in the comments were like, "Ben Barnes, Shadow and Bone.
Ben Barnes is in Shadow and Bone. You have to watch it."
And I was like, "What are you guys talking about? The images on your background, Tiff, were Ben Barnes in Shadow and Bones.
Shadow and Bones, yeah.
I had no idea. And ladies, I'm here to tell you, I understand and I know. And the Darkling, Alexander, whatever you want to be called, like, I will follow you to the folds.
I can't wait for you to watch season 2.
I'm so excited. I have to. I wanted to jump right in, but I don't want to mix my seasons with our conversation. So
I'm trying to stop myself from doing that. So it's a good idea.
I didn't want to. I was like, no, I have to wait till we're done recording and then I'm going to jump into season 2. I have a full day tomorrow at work. So maybe I'll watch it out.
There you go.
So there's
when I house sit for you and you watch me on your camera, I'm going to pause it on just one scene of Ben Barnes and just look at the camera until you catch it.
I'll record it.
Okay, so tell me about your overall impression of the adaptation.
Okay, I loved it.
Yeah.
But I won't lie, the first episode was slow as fuck. And I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be so boring. I was like, if this is the premise of the entire series, I'm gonna be so bored and I'm gonna have a hard time watching it. But the literal end of episode 1 where homegirl like reveals her power, like Mal's getting killed, everyone's getting pulled apart and she's getting pulled and she shines her light, I was like, okay. Started episode 2 and the moment Ben Barnes turned around, I was like,
gosh, yes,
hook and sinker. Like, I'm invested. So I was invested from 2 to 8, episode 2 to 8. I was invested. And anytime Ben Barnes wasn't on the screen, I was like, why? Why you make me so sad? Why you make me sad? What about you? What's your overall impression of the
overall impression? I loved it. I love that they put the crows in it.
Yes.
It gave it so much depth to the series. Because I'm not gonna lie, I hated anytime Alina was on the screen because I didn't like. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I already knew her story, and I was like, I don't.
No, I watched it before I read it, and I did not enjoy her I don't know, maybe it's the actress. There's something I just don't
No, I
like.
don't think it's the actress. I think it's just the way the character
I
is.
don't like her. I
I
don't
don't
like
know
her
what it
or
is.
Mal.
I didn't care for the storyline itself, but anytime the crows were on the screen, I like got so happy. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, it's
You know
them.
what? And Nina and Matthias. I was
Yes,
obsessed with
I
them.
love Nina. Matthias throws me off every time he speaks because of that accent. Like, throws
It's
me off because
strong.
he doesn't look like he doesn't have that accent, and then he has the accent. And I was
I'm
like, oh
like,
yeah,
bro, are you supposed to be in Frozen? Like,
yeah,
who are you?
yeah.
I thought it would be I thought it was going to be confusing, right? Because at
Mm-hmm.
first, when you're first introduced to the three crows, you don't know that they're the,
Unless
or,
you've read the books,
right?
yeah,
You
you
don't
won't
know.
know.
You don't know. And so you're introduced to all these different characters, and you're just kind of like, okay. And that's how I was. I was like, okay. But then you're like invested. It's quickly put together. Like, hey, this is what we want you to do. This is your plan. This is what you're going to do. And I wasn't confused. I know who everybody was. I knew what
Yeah,
everybody's journey was, what the plot was, what they were trying to do. And it all made sense when they all got together and when they're all finally I love a good show or
when
movie.
when they all finally meet up.
That's my favorite.
Yeah,
That is my favorite part of anything. When you see all the journey of so many people and they finally meet up, like that is when you have me fully invested and ready to see like how this is going to play out.
yeah,
I enjoyed them too. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt,
yeah.
but I
No,
just was
that's
like,
okay.
ugh.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Jesper was the first crow to
Mm-hmm.
show up on screen, and I immediately loved him because he shot that coin, and I was like, ace, perfect, amazing. And then
Kaz?
and then Kaz walks in with his cane, and he's like, "Yo,
Yo, is Kaz and Inej a thing? I felt like
yeah,
unsaid
I
like
think so. I don't
I
know."
have to read the book, but I felt like there was this unsaid like burn, a yearn for each
Like he
other.
saved her from the
Mm-hmm.
menagerie,
Mm-hmm.
um, and he refuses to save anyone else.
Yeah. Like
Like,
he
you're
really
gonna sit here
enjoys
and tell me
her.
that's not.
I was like, "What?" That's the vibes I was getting. I was like, "Yo, are you guys a thing?"
But then
Like,
again, also, like, do you think it's just because we're tainted by dark romance?
maybe. And then also, he has a very traumatic. I think that's going to season 2. Season 2, you get more an insight of his character, right? Like his background story.
You get
Well,
insight on all of their stories,
yeah. So
actually.
I'll hold off on it. But in my first initial thought was like, "Yeah, are they like a thing, or like does he got a thing for her, and does she have a thing for him? Like,
Yeah, it's like,
what's their deal?" But then I love Jesper. Like everything
love
about
Jesper.
him.
You're gonna love Jesper in
I
season 2. I will just say that right now
He
because
is hilarious. He brings the comedy. He brings like almost a sense of reality to
yeah,
them, and he just does what he does, and he's like not ashamed of who he is. I love this character. Give me a side give me a side story on him, please. Everything. I
yeah,
want everything on this man
love it.
and his goat
Okay.
that I thought he was literally going to throw into the fire when they're on the train.
Oh my god, when he put it down?
That whole scene where he was like petting the goat, and I thought he was going to like throw it into the fire because he didn't have enough coal.
I hate you.
Tell me you did not think that.
I didn't.
Oh my god.
I didn't think that.
Okay, so since we're talking about casting,
Yes.
Jesper, who do you think nailed their role, or like who do you think didn't quite hit it? Like, what are your thoughts on casting?
I think that Alina's actress, I mean, I don't know because I feel like I don't know if I like the actress or like I don't know if I don't like the actress or if I don't like Alina.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like it just wasn't there for me. So, but Ben Barnes is amazing because like we see him in Narnia, right? And he's like the good guy and he's
Yeah.
saving everyone. And then you see him in this and he's like
Who's Zaddy?
a dark shadow daddy. And it's like, and he plays the role very, very well because
You
his
get
eyes,
intrigued.
I've always said this, his eyes are like pitch black. Like you can't
Yeah.
see you can't see the line between his iris and the color. And it's like, you know, look at that. And then but I couldn't get enough of the crows. I said it once, I'll say it again. Jesper and Inej,
Yeah.
amazing. But Freddie Carter as Kaz, it hit me in a different way because like I feel like no one else could have played that role
Yeah.
as well as he did. Because like
He
and that eyebrow doesn't go down.
I love
Like,
it.
is it up right
It's
now?
forever
Yeah, look
arched.
at
Yeah,
it.
it's forever arched.
Forever arched. He has the perfect, like, arched
Yeah.
eyebrows.
Like, he's the perfect villain. He looks like he'd be such a good villain
And
in
he's not
anything.
even, like, a villain.
I
He's just a
know.
morally great, like, his compass
Mhm.
is moral
He's just
or
trying to make
whatever. I
money
don't
and,
know
like,
how to
survive.
explain it.
Like, he's trying to live his life and do his
You
business.
see more of his story in season 2,
I'm so
and it makes
excited.
sense why he is the way he is, and it's so good. And I wanna read the book so bad to learn more,
Me
but
too.
so, wait, you answer. What's yours?
Okay, so I don't know what it is. Alina and Mal, those actors, I don't know. I just like every time they were on screen, I just was like, why? Like, why am I like why? I was just annoyed by her.
You know what it was? It makes me like when Alina and Mal are on screen, I feel like it's a YA. But when the
Yeah.
Crows or Ben Barnes is on screen, I feel like it's not because they
Facts.
don't act like
They're
children.
adults.
But Alina and Mal act like children.
That's what it is. Okay.
That's
I
how
think
I
that's
feel
what it is.
about it.
And I agree with you. Ben Barnes, I will follow him to the end of the world. And the Crows, I will follow them both to the end of the world. Like, I will follow
All 3 of them. There's 6,
Ugh.
but you don't see them. You only see the 3.
Oh my god, they did so. And I thought what's her name who plays Ben Barnes's mom?
Yeah.
She did really well.
I like her a lot.
I liked her.
Braga.
Yeah, Braga. I
Braga.
enjoyed her a lot. I liked her as an actor, as a character. Like when he comes back from the fold or whatever. Oh wait, is it when he comes back from the fold? Or no. When something happens where like he comes back from something and then he like hides the wall and his mom is sitting there and she's like, you finally came back for me.
Oh yeah, the waterfall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's like, you left me here for a week with that crazy bitch and you're coming to get me or whatever.
I liked her a lot.
Yeah, she's sassy.
Okay, we'll talk about it in your next question because I actually have more on the next one. Go ahead.
Okay, so were there any particular scenes or moments in season 1 that stood out to you? Either good or bad.
Let's talk about it. Okay, so I have a couple that drew some emotions at me. When Ben Barnes and Alina kiss and almost do it,
on the cartography table,
I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was shooketh. Like, first of all, man, you are a man and that is a child. That's how I kept saying. I was like, you are a man and that is a child. Like,
she's not though.
She's not a child, but like, no, you need a woman. Like, I hate you.
I hate you so much.
Stop. Like, I was like, when they
just wants her so bad.
He was like, are you sure about this? And she was sure. She was about to get down on that table. I was so maybe I'm jealous of her. I don't know.
I hate you. Maybe that's why you don't like her.
And then also when Mal, I don't like Mal, but I will say when him and his friends were ambushed and literally killed, I was shocked. Like the amount of times that Mal has almost died or has like died in every episode, like they just like almost every episode, this man almost dies.
Yeah,
he never catches a break. He does not catch a break.
True. Yeah, he can't. He really can't.
That scene was so shocking. When his friends were dying around him, I was literally like in shock. I was like, damn, like this is intense. This is intense. But then I also loved the episode where we got to see Alexander, aka Ben Barnes, his background story. And how he lost the love of his life. And that's how he like became evil and like caused the fold and then I liked that story because I was curious, right? Watching it. I was like, how? Like, why? Why is he this way? And when you watch his episode, his scene or his backstory, it's so sad. He loved that woman.
Yeah.
He loved that woman.
I think that was like the last piece of like his humanity or like his sense of good, like was with her.
That part killed me, and he killed those guys. He
Oh
said,
my god, he really did.
and fucking chopped their heads
It
off,
was
like,
crazy.
dead. And then I also, like and then inside the fold, it was ridiculous. I could not see shit.
Yeah, my screen kept doing, like, a weird thing because it was so dark that it was trying to adjust, and I was like, "Yo, I can't. It's so dark in there."
I was like, "Alina, you need to light up, baby, because I can't see
Yeah.
shit in this
Can't see
fold.
anything. It's
What
crazy.
are these creatures that are pulling people? Like, I don't know what I'm looking at." It was a very, Game of Thrones
Chaotic.
moment for me.
Yeah.
So those are all the scenes that, like, stood out to me.
Oh my god.
What about you?
Okay, so there's one scene that I liked when Alina found out that Braga has been Ben Barnes, like, or that Ben Barnes' mom, Alexander's
Mhm.
mom. I loved that scene because if you hadn't read the book and you watched that show, you'd be like, "Yo, what the hell?"
That's
Like,
what I
yeah, like
said.
you were shooketh, were you not? You were
I thought she
shooketh.
was just a witch who knew what she was doing. Like
Yeah,
a
so
Grisha
like,
who knew.
yeah, so I think that scene was done perfect. It was very plot twisty. And then I liked the scene where Kaz and the crows travel through the folds with the conductor
The
because it really
train.
shows
Mhm.
like it shows like more deeper of their dynamic because they're like in a confined space and like Jesper's like freaking out
Hardcore.
and Inej is just like she's low-key kind of freaking out, which is like different because you don't really see her that way. And even like Kaz is like, yo, what the fuck? But
Yeah,
he's like
like,
trying to keep his
they're
composure.
scared.
Yeah, and like so you kind of see them in a vulnerable moment, and then Jesper's just like, yeah, fuck it, and he starts shooting at
Goes
the.
hard.
It's so good. I love his scenes when he shoots his guns at all.
Yeah.
Just in general, it's so
Yeah.
good.
When he shoots, it's so good, but wait, is it the second series? Okay, I think it's the second season, never mind. Okay,
Let's do the comparison now.
let's
Let's
do
bring
it.
both together and talk about it.
Let's bring it into the
Um,
folds.
okay. I hate you. So what's one big thing that you feel that the show missed that the book absolutely nailed?
The training scene.
Yeah.
Alina's training. I felt there could have been more in the series. Like, you could have done a lot more training
With an hour-long
segments.
episode?
Yeah, but I mean, like, you could have done more. I felt like it was rushed, and then I felt like we were just on the time of, like, she has to write her letters. Do you know what I
Yeah, it
mean?
was too I wish that they had done the training arc more because, like,
I
they just
wanted
did
more.
one training where she got, like, blown from by
Mhm.
Zoila, and then that was it. And I was
I
like
wanted more of the training. I wanted more conversation between the other, people there who are also training. I just wanted you could have done an episode on it. You could have made
yeah.
this a 9-episode series, let's be real. You could have done a whole episode, kinda dedicated to her in Little Palace.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have minded
I
at
wouldn't have
all.
minded either. Yeah.
More with, Ben Barnes,
I
like,
hate you. That's
I'll
why you
take
wouldn't mind it.
yeah, like him watching over her or something, I don't know.
I hate that. I
What
agree though. The training arc, I feel like they could have just done more to it. You really only get like one you get one scene with
moments.
her actually training with the other Grisha, and then you have the scenes where she's training with Bagra,
Yeah.
and that's really it.
Like,
And I'm like,
the one scene that she does that, challenge with Zoira, and then they're at dinner, and it's just like, that was so cool, like, you
yeah,
kicked
like
her
that's
out
it.
because she, almost hurt you or whatever, like, what? Like,
It's
ugh.
just too much.
No, I
Like
want
give me
more, like,
more.
don't
Yeah,
give
give
it
me
to her that
more.
easily, like, she needs to train.
Yeah. She needs to work
Anyway.
for it.
Yeah. Okay. Was there anything the movie changed or cut that actually improved the story or made it easier to follow? I think we can both agree in the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. The
The
Crows.
Crows,
Yes.
aka Kaz.
I love that they brought them in so early. I
Yeah.
don't know, and it's crazy because I don't know the stories. I don't know this
So
book
I
series.
know that the Crows book series is after it's like the aftermath
So
of what
they
happens in
are not
Shadow and
affected with
Bone.
Alina at all
Mm,
in the book series.
they're brought
Which
up, like they're talked about in I think the second book. I think like one or two of them is talked about. I think it's just Nina that's talked about or something like that. Or I think it might be the other way around where the Crows talk about Alina and I think they only meet Genya Genya.
Mhm.
She's the only one that like shows up in Six of Crows from what I've heard.
Interesting.
I
I
have no
have to
idea because
read
I've
it.
never read
I'm
it.
really
I
in
really want to because I want more. I heard that okay,
Oh god.
this might not be real and this might just be a fanfic, but I heard that Kaz pulled someone's eye out in the book because they touched Inej.
See?
And
Burn
I
the
said,
world. He will burn the world for this woman.
and that's why.
I loved that they incorporated the Six Crows, the
Yeah.
characters. I love Nina and Matthias.
Mm-hmm.
I loved them, their connection. Give me like that like banter that like it's like steamy up in there in that little hut that they're
I
in. Like I'm
know.
obsessed with them. It was the other characters that really did it for me. Not your
Yeah.
FMC, MMC. It was literally everyone else.
It really was. I think the director was so smart with combining the two because
And he loved it. He loves
Yeah.
the entire series. So I agree. I think what he did was brilliant for a show. It was really well done.
The storyline, it like was two separate storylines, but they weave together perfectly and they separated together perfectly when it needed to.
Yes.
And I thought, yeah, just amazing.
It was really, really well done. I can't wait to watch season 2.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to watch it because I have a lot to say. But let's talk about the world, the magic, and the CGI. So how did the series do with all of that?
I thought the series did well with it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew everything I needed to know. I knew that, okay, I'm not a fantasy person.
I know.
And so it's hard for me I have to have subtitles when I watch anything. Thank goodness I do because I could not the names that are thrown out,
Yeah,
the
the names of
terms.
stuff is crazy.
But I knew the series did a well job giving the intro in the beginning, the backstory, right? I knew the countries, I knew the fold, I knew the little palace. I knew who was magic, who wasn't, even based on their attire, like who's who.
Mm-hmm.
The show did a really good job making it easy to follow. If you're not a big fantasy person, I feel like this show is great and it's easy to follow. The characters, I thought the CGI was pretty good. It didn't look cheesy to me at all. For a first season, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think it did perfect with the world and like the way that they introduced the worlds because they did it little by little and they weren't like they didn't do like you know how like some fantasies will do voiceovers and it shows like a map and it's like someone telling a story and whatever. They like introduced it in like real conversation or like, oh, we have to go here for this. And then like someone's like, why do we have to go there? And they explain what the place is. You know what I mean? Like they did it well there. And I think the fold was fine. It was just a big wall of shadow.
Yeah, literally, it's literally a fold.
Yeah, and I thought the CGI was good for what
Me
it was.
too.
Like it wasn't cheesy,
Yeah.
but it wasn't the most amazing CGI I've ever seen.
Like it worked
like
for
it
Netflix.
wasn't like CGI like the CGI compared to Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
This was better.
Yeah.
Because we all know the Once Upon a Time CGI, but we all still ate it up. But I think the only thing that like kind of threw me off was whenever Ben Barnes used his powers. Because I feel like Shadow is hard to CGI that. It just looked like
it's just blackness and darkness.
It was just like they just took their mouse cursor and just spread it across. You know what I mean? Like a filter over.
Yeah.
But everything else was great.
No, I thought it was great too. And then also I wanted to say the difference, like the actual differences between the movie and the series 1 and book 1. Like things like in the series, for example, in the beginning, Mal and Alina are already they're not destined to go together through the fold, right? It was like a random draw in the military and he was like picked to go through the fold and she like does some shady ass shit, burns her little things and join the trip with Mal because she can't leave him.
Yeah.
And in the book, they were destined to already go together through the folds. So I was like, you could have just done that. Like, you didn't have to change it. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. When I was reading the book, I was like, oh, they were already gonna go.
Yeah.
So what?
I think they just did it for dramatic effect.
This is very dramatic. She was so dramatic burning that
dramatic.
shit. And then she's
Let's
like,
just
I'll
talk
go.
about...
She goes, I'll go. Bitch.
Like, okay. I just want to talk about real quick the Alina. Any man that she interacted with, I felt like she was like, oh, they want me. And like they acted like they did, and it irritated me. And the only ones that didn't were the crows, and I loved that because I was like, yeah,
they were
stay
like,
away
this
from
is
her.
Like, this
yeah,
is her.
like stay away from her. I feel like even Inej was like, I kind of want her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it irritated me so much. Like, I hate it when this is the part of the FMCs that I don't like, is when the FMC is like, she's like the center of attention and every guy wants to be with her. And it's like, that's not, I don't like that. Like, if you're going to do that, at least make it a why choose. Like, at least make it a group effort. Okay. Like, let's not go off kissing Ben Barnes.
She really had it in her head got big with Ben Barnes. Like,
her head got big as soon as Ben Barnes was like, she
so
said,
like, we know that Ben Barnes has an alternative motive. Now, mind you, we didn't know until way later on, but you already know, like, he's evil. I mean, the homeboy dresses in all black and like
his powers are literally shadow.
When he went to go save her when she was being transported to Little Palace, and he went to save her and like did his like black magic, I was like, yo, you're evil as fuck.
Yeah, like he did that without blinking an eye.
You're
he sliced
evil.
That man in half.
Take me on your horse. Like,
yeah. Okay, again. Okay.
No, but she was like, so we knew he had alternative motive, and she was like eating that up, like, oh, this dark man, like, ooh, he wants me.
She was feeling it. She
was like, ooh, he's like bringing out the light in me when he holds my wrist. Like, what? I was like, girl, calm down. All right. He's trying to use you. She
thought
it
was like a yin and yang thing. And then, her head got big.
Black kafta.
Yeah, that was so...
She's like, I'm going to always wear your colors. Like, what?
Like, shut up. He's like, I got you wrapped around my finger.
You facts. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, she's ridiculous.
I feel like her head did get big because she immediately was like, oh my God. Like, because in the beginning, she's like, I love Mal. And then she goes, oh, I'm falling for Alexander. And then she goes, oh, I love Mal. Well, she was like, I've been writing Mal and he's not responding.
Fuck this. I'm gonna like move on with Alexander.
Like,
rebound with Alexander.
He is not a rebound. Right now, it gets worse in season 2 again. I'm just gonna tell you right now, it gets worse. So
when they were about to do it, and he gets interrupted because they were like, "Oh, we found your tracker," and she's like, "Oh, wait here for you." Excuse me, bitch. Excuse me.
And then Braga comes and saves her, and I'm like,
she's like, she's
like, yo, what the hell are you doing with my son?
My son is 100 years old.
Yeah,
this is not he's not who you think he is.
She said, "Get your ass in this cave right now. I'm tired of you." Braga was so over her as much as we were.
She's like, get out of here. Get out of our town. Get out of Little Palace. I'm done with you.
She said, fuck off.
You're an idiot. Get out of here. That's how I felt.
Literally. Okay, so let's do final thoughts. Book or TV show? Which do you prefer and why?
The series. I ate it up.
Yeah, me too. I ate the series up, and I think it's because of the crows. If the book had the crows in it like it did the show, I would have chosen the book. But because Shadow and Bones and Six of Crows are 2 separate books, and we're only doing Shadow and Bones compared to the TV show, it's going to be Shadow and Bones. But if it was the other way around and it was Six of Crows compared to the TV show, I probably would choose the book because I'd get more of Kaz.
Honestly, if season 1 was so similar to the book and we were never introduced to Six of Crows, I probably wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah,
I would have been like, this is so lame. I don't want to watch this. I'm only watching it for Ben Barnes.
Yeah, literally. You're like, I wouldn't watch it. I'd only watch it for Ben Barnes. He would be in every episode.
I fast forward just to Ben Barnes.
They probably would be quicker episodes because it wouldn't be an hour long because you don't need that much information.
So, I mean, yeah, it was the series for me. For sure. I enjoyed it.
So what do you rate the book? How many stars would you rate the book?
Because the crows were not in it. That's what's like different. Yeah. That's what's
for me.
For the book, for what it was, for what it is, I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Yeah.
It was an easy read. I thought it would be like a more difficult fantasy read, but it really wasn't. And
No,
maybe
it's
it's because
not.
I watched the series that I had all these already, the world, the characters, the lands, the backstory. Like I already knew it.
Mhm.
So it was an easy read, an easy fantasy read. I hope book 2, my number goes up. But I know if we were doing Six of Crows, I'd probably be like 5s, you know? Like I'm
Yeah, the Six
obsessed.
of Crows, like, I need to get that book because I wanna read it so bad, but for Shadow and Bone, I would give it a 3.75.
Oh,
Can I go
wow.
that way? Get that route? Can I go that route of, like, a
Sure.
in between? Because like, I don't hate it. When I read the book, I liked the book. I was
Mhm.
like, "This is a really good book," and I enjoyed it, and then rereading it and then watching the show, I was like, "Okay." Like,
Yeah.
it's not as great as I thought it like, I feel like because this was, like, one of the first fantasy books that I read when I first picked up reading again, so that's probably why I hyped it up so much.
Altered. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I'm altered. My brain
I'm
chemistry
altered.
is my brain chemistry is altered, and this man has just got
Altered
me in a
it.
chokehold.
Mm,
Yeah, so 3.75.
okay. I'll take it.
And what about the show?
Season 1, I'm literally gonna give it I ate that shit up. I ate that season up. I'm gonna give it 4.5 only because episode 1 was a downer for me, but I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I really liked the show. I was so surprised.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 as well, but for a different reason.
Okay.
4 of it is gonna go to all the crows, and point 5 will be for the rest of the storyline. I thought that I was going to enjoy Ben Barnes more, and I did at the first. I think the first like from episode 2 to episode 4,
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh my god, Ben Barnes, I'm eating it up," and then like the crows just like kept getting
They
more
really
closer
intrigued
to
me in the
her.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as they got closer to the little palace, I was like, I'm eating y'all up too. Like I can't
Yeah.
like it. And then ever since they were in the little palace, and Alina shows off her powers and Inej like practically starts crying.
Yeah.
And Kaz is like, yo, what the fuck? And and
Yeah.
the whole when the shit hits the fan for
Mhm.
them, from that moment on up until the very end of the entire show, because I couldn't stop watching it. I just immediately was like, I only want to see the crows. Like I
Yeah.
only want to see
They
them.
really sold the show.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah, I give it a 4.5 also.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's rate our books. Okay. Where do you rate the book?
For Shadow and Bone, the book, I'm gonna rate it at a 3. It's out of 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll rate it a 3 because I don't know how I'm gonna feel about the second book.
Okay. Shadow and Bone 1.
I already read City of Bones and I've already read Beautiful Creatures, but I'm Shadow and Bone book 2 is gonna be like the
Your wild card?
My wild card, yeah.
Okay. I've not read any of them.
Okay.
So I'm also gonna put Shadowbone at number 3.
Okay.
Because it just was what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe number 2 will be number 4. I don't know, but I'm gonna put it number 3. It's not my
Okay.
number 1. I wasn't like eating it up, obsessed.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Okay, what about the show? Where do you put it? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Is only season 1?
Season 1 only, yeah.
Okay, for only season 1, I'm gonna put it at a 3 as well.
Okay.
Which is shocking, but it's because I've already seen season 2 and I know exactly where I'm putting that. Even because I already know my lineup. I already know my lineup for adaptation.
So I've never seen any of them. I'm gonna put season 1 at number 2.
Okay. I'm excited for you to watch season.
I'm excited to watch season 2. I've never watched City of Bones. I've never watched Beautiful Creatures, and so those are all my wild cards.
Yeah, City of Bones. We're just reading the first book.
Yeah,
and we're just watching the movie, not the TV show. Don't watch the TV show because that will throw you off because you're gonna be like, "What the actual fuck am I watching?" It's a whole different thing. Okay, so yeah.
Yes,
and
yes.
Beautiful Creatures, you'll probably have to get off of you'll have to rent it on Prime or something because it's not on a streaming website.
Oh my god!
I have to watch it because I watch it multiple times for some reason all the time. I have to watch it on one of those websites that we should not watch.
Okay, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm excited to read and watch these other series that we have for the month of July.
I know, I'm excited.
Okay, so let's get into our segment called Arc Corner. This is our ARC Corner segment where we highlight an author and their upcoming book. This Wednesday, we are getting emotional and deep with Melissa Myers and her book, The Snow Trillium, which it was a very emotional book, I will admit. I can't wait to share that episode with everybody.
Yeah, me too. And this Friday, we are diving deep and laughing out loud with the one and only Catherine Bell and her book, Havenwood, that will make you wish it was fall. Catherine, is literally the cutest person I've ever met.
She is. She's such a girl's girl,
so
and I loved everything about her. I loved talking to her, and I honestly can't wait to talk to her more when she releases her other book, The Mark of Beauty.
Yes, I'm so excited. But
you have to listen. You'll have to listen
about that one, because that one, Chef's Kiss and Havenwood, was so good. To guys, listen.
Obsessed. You guys will be obsessed with both of these authors and their books. 2 different books, but you will be emotional. You'll fall in love. You'll have emotions with both of these books.
An emotional roller coaster in the best way possible.
Yes. So we are very excited and can't wait to share these episodes with you all. With that being said, that is our wrap on this episode, Shadow and Bone Part 1. Tune in next week as we finish up the Shadow and Bone, just like Netflix, with book 2 of the series and season 2. I'm so sad that there's nothing after season 2.
I know, it makes me really upset because like they were gonna do a spin-off of the Six of Crows, like just then.
Why?
And then they just stopped. I don't know why. God. I looked it up and all of the articles just said like they just, I don't know. So if any of our listeners has more information, I don't know.
Did people not like the show? Like, what were the senses on the show? Like, did people not enjoy?
I read it on Reddit. They were like, people were saying like they tried to be too much like Game of Thrones, which like I kind of got that vibe, but I never thought like I
never thought it.
And then people were upset that they combined Six of Crows with it.
Upset.
Not saying that they didn't like it, but they wanted it 2 separate. Like if they were gonna do it, it would be 2 separate stories, which they could have low-key done. They could have done season 1 Alina story and just taken all of Alina's stuff and put it in one, and then done the season 2 the Six of Crows. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I guess that's just mainly the basic stuff that I saw.
Interesting.
I don't know. I ate it up.
I ate it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at work.
Left no crumbs.
I literally was like unbothered at work. I was like, do not bother me. My 8 hours are going to go by like that.
Yeah. And you're going to be upset with the way the season
I can't wait to watch it tomorrow.
I'm so excited for you. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcast. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Official Page to Picture for all things books, movie adaptations, Kaz Brecker, and more.
Personally, Jesper for me, but yes, Kaz and
I know you like Kaz too, Doc.
I do. Like this now will be my dreams tonight.
Look at
literally staring at him.
I'm reading fan fiction about it.
That's like how bad right at him.
Like I enjoy a character if I'm reading fan fiction about them. And I have about 9 of him already. So
you're ridiculous.
I'm obsessed.
You can also find our link tree on our Instagram. It has everything from new episodes to guest signups and our merch that we just launched. Kaz merch.
My finger was like up his nose.
Sorry, it's Kaz. I'll follow you to the folds.
Literally, I will follow him. I'll hold his cane for him if he needs help with
I'll do anything,
or something.
Anything he wants.
Literally.
Him and Ben Barnes. I will follow both men to the folds.
2 bad bitches at the same damn time. I'm just saying.
And on that note, I hope everybody has a great week. We love you all. Thanks for listening.
Love you. Bye.